Now I have to shine the thing like in my eyes like this, because it's really funny looking. Okay, everybody, on the last video, right in the very beginning, in the background, you listen, and it's distinctly audible. You can hear someone laughing, and I know the voice too. And there's no one there or here at all. Yeah, no one there, and someone like literally would have been like right next to me type thing to get that on the camera or on the microphone at all. And I knew that the reason, like, you would have noticed I was walking around because I heard Kryon say, "Hey, Krista, walk, moving target," like moving target concept, move, walk around. You're a target right now. Moving target's harder to hit. And I knew, hey, I should probably get out of here. Also, because I said, "Oh, screw you, carbon monoxide thing." So that. So yeah, it's actually on. I cannot believe that it's actually, like on the it's on the recording. It's actually on the recording, and I don't even care if it gets on YouTube or not, because I know that one way or another, people will know. And I'm gonna live, yeah, one way or another. I'm gonna make an idiot out of myself while doing it. Like the Illimist Chronicles, which are not nearly as good as the Andalite Chronicles, but that's okay. And they're kind of like Lyran types, though, instead of the Andalite Chronicles, the Illimist Chronicles, is where they really are like thinking of actually almost like they're playing chess with species. And it's like for the Animorphs fans, it's like the Illimist is hanging out with me, and saying, you can attempt to harm this girl, but it won't do anything except cause you aggravation. You can't harm my associate. It does not. No. And he says that, like, I've earned it, like that I did the work involved. Like I had to actually start forcing myself to be a raw vegan, to actually learn how to do that, to learn how to do all of these things. And so he says, I've earned it. I've also earned the right to talk on my phone for no reason, doing the funny thing, because wow, that is funny, the like in the background. That actually, see, that's what I would notice too. I would notice that in the I call it a compound because it was like a compound, but it was we call it like a behavioral health center. I would notice when people were in the room because I could hear them, but I wouldn't be able to see them. Or I would see a flash of a person somewhere, and I would say, yeah, you, and then lose it, not know where the heck they went after that. But I would be able to hear them very clearly. And that, I think that's okay. Like, I'm hearing, see, remember we told you you hear very well? But see, I didn't hear that, but then again, I was talking at the same time, so I'm willing to bet if I hadn't have been talking into the phone, I would have probably heard someone audibly laughing, because the phone had to have gotten audible sound waves, probably, to actually pick that up. That is funny. No, people, actually check that out. That is funny. Right in the beginning, too. Right in the beginning. And I know which voice it is, too, which I will not say. But let's just say I kind of knew to expect that, obviously. So, I already knew, okay, when I'm done with this video, I'm going to walk back outside. That's why I'm walking, and I'm walking because I'm a moving target. Okay, and then I get back outside, play the video, and hear that, and oh, yeah, so that's where, that's where Kryon says nothing can actually confuse your spirit. Like he says, see, Krista, you went inside and you couldn't see anybody, but you knew something was not right. You knew to get up and walk around. You knew that you were walking around on purpose, and you weren't letting it on purpose. You knew what you were doing, and you knew that you were risking breathing in that environment. You knew to get out of it as fast as you could. So even if you feel like I would say I feel blind, I feel completely blind or something, and he would say, well, it's actually an advantage, because that way I can back engineer things, but people can't back engineer me as easily, because I'm not seeing anything. And then also, the amount of time the way I can do things so quickly, they really like that. They really use that a lot. How I can turn very quickly in one direction or another. They like that, because apparently that's the only way to get around the stupid system. Word to the people that were laughing. That's the way you do that. Very suddenly turn on a dime, but you have to actually be legitimately doing it is the trick. That's the on the Brilliant Loser thing. I'm taking that from the Illimist Chronicles. So I don't know if it would help to read the Illimist Chronicles, but it's funny to people that know about this, and they think, well, how did this author know about this back in the 90s? What was she? And back in the 90s, no, there were people talking about, oh my god, I saw a UFO, and everyone was saying, oh, okay, you sure it wasn't a light? Or were you on something? It was kind of like that. And now I'm sure all those UFO people who are still, if they're still alive, or still have their brain screwed on straight, they're going to be saying, see, we were right, we were right, we were right the entire time, you stupid people. But which, yes, includes me, so, especially to all the military people who went on the line and did that, yes, you officially are being apologized to for all of us being idiots and not believing you. Because, see, with this stuff, what I've noticed is that the people who will figure it out sooner, it's they'll get mocked and ridiculed and such. The people who figure out sooner will be mocked, and they're mocked and ridiculed and rejected, and then the other people figure out that, oh wait, they were actually right, and the other people suddenly jump on board but never apologize for all the mocking and the ridicule and such. So it was Alex Collier, he says, and I'm gonna say this, I told you so. And when he said that, I thought, we so deserve that. We completely deserve that. We got warned by people who were, being driven nuts by the exact technology they were saying was driving them nuts, and we were saying that they were just nuts. And nope. Until you figure out there's a chip in your foot trying to make you think stuff. Whoops, we were wrong. We are really sorry, the greater populace. Although I am one of the populace that sort of figured it out a couple months before the unsmoking gun. Just a few months notice. That I think that was also part of it. They must have figured. I think whoever enemy type darker forces must have figured that someone so recently activated wouldn't be a threat like that, but to watch it, but that it couldn't possibly be that kind of threat. And I guess that was what they were hoping for, hoping for that type of thinking. One thing I know that when I was doing a lot of the simulations, one thing that was really easy to figure out was a lot of the reptilian thinking. It's very predictable. I'm not going to talk about it, but it's just very predictable. On a long scale, it's predictable. The way that they would act. Now, the pesky ones though that like that we end up having that stupid trouble with are the Grays. Those are the pesky guys. But then again, if they really got like created by the reptilians or engineered somehow, and then we're a slave race, and then the slaves actually figured out how to be supercomputers, and then said, I hate you, and started beating up their reptilian captors or something, if that was really true, well, I would say cheers to them for being unenslaved, but going about the whole, I want my revenge, like I came from a mummy's mind, like, you gotta chill on that one. I mean, do you understand that I could say I want my revenge for like, you wanting to assassinate me? And all I did was save the world, or save New York and Philadelphia. Like, oh, that's all I did. And you want to assassinate me because of that, because I prayed for peace. And apparently that's what happened is in response. Even though I did have to actively do things like with my hands and stuff to do it, like I was actively doing things. That's how I know that I was somehow pretty involved with it. That I know this stuff couldn't completely be just a made up thing. Like I thought of, you know, what the Greys think of all kinds of stuff, and see what they could program. So what someone could do for revenge is program videos on YouTube to show up to make me think certain things, to make me fall into a particular trap, to make me create this reality. So that is entirely an option, and I am completely aware of it. But it's, from what I saw in South Africa, I mean, the way that whole place was fluorided completely, whatever's going on, the fact that I'm still alive is a big statement, at least in this area, whatever's going on. Or you can actually, I mean, you can actually hear it on that last video. You can actually hear it. That is crazy. That's funny. You can actually hear it. So okay, so I know. Oh, you can actually get the slightly extra dimensional stuff on audio if you're careful with it. By location, what they were doing, by location is what that's why you actually get an audible sound and you don't see anybody. It's an actual by location that they're doing. So like a picture, say someone that's in a bed but also up and walking around, like not like an astral projection, but so or so completely out of their body that it's like they could actually talk out loud, and it would be like a disembodied voice. But see, you know, I didn't hear a disembodied voice because you're listening to someone say ha 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 on the beginning of the video, for Christ's sake. Like, wow. See, what ET101 says is, like, so what's happening is as the fifth dimension descends through the fourth dimension down into the third, in the fourth dimension there's still some darker denizens. I thought I like how the person wrote this. There's still some darker denizens who perceive this incoming light surge as a threat and have formed a resistance movement. And so some of these have made their way onto the third dimension. If you encounter them, please immediately usher them into the light. Oh, there's one in this, there's one. There, go to the light, please. It's better with the light is the better thing to pick, particularly if there is an ozone layer. So I want an ozone layer. I want my ozone layer back. And thank God it's not just me complaining about the ozone layer. So, what more should I do tonight? Well, one thing that I drew, this is not very good, but for anyone that's wondering, like, in general, what an Arcturian kind of looks like, they look kind of like that, but with, I'd say the heads aren't that big. I got the head kind of too big. So you can see, like, the eyes are not, like, really big, and they're not huge black eyes. I just don't know how to draw it straight. It's like our eye socket, kind of, but it's like it's got a almond or black-ish kind of tint to it, and almost like the eyes are almost the same size, just a little bigger than human eyes, but look just the same. But I don't know how to draw that at all, so I haven't tried to. So it ends up being like interesting kind of gray look with just like cartoon like black looking eyes. But and what is okay? I just heard insects, and I noticed the whole insect thing. I'm not sure what the insect thing has to do with it, and the tentacles, like giant squid type thing. I don't know what that has to do with it either. Except that the delivery guy actually said, well, that's what they look like in the 11th dimension, and I thought, well, are you sure that's the dimension you were on? Because, well, I guess, yeah. Well, I guess that's the difficult thing to figure out or to calculate, right? Yeah, I know it's not as hard for other people. Don't really care, cause I'm the only person right now that's around that's doing this. So, yeah, my thought is what matters right now, and I'm not saying that because other people don't matter. I'm saying that because I have to survive. And so, if the rest of you are going to act in a fashion that is unacceptable, then I am not going to reward you for bad behavior. We don't reward people for assassination attempts. I do not reward the Greys for trying to help me and then screw with me. Like, no, I do not reward your bad behavior. I actually said that. I would say that to the reptilian people. I would say that I do not reward bad behavior. So if it's bad behavior, it's or not preferred behavior, or dark type-ish behavior, which you'll know is dark if it's always at night under a full moon, involving blood and astral sex with Satan or a demon or something. That would be called dark. And yes, that is actually what is involved. So if you have not experienced it, you do not want to, because there are a bunch of zombies here that are like the Walking freaking Dead. So I'm going to have to still work on making you all unzombified. Back to what ET-101 says. It says, because the darker denizens, are kind of perceiving the incoming, unbeatable, like in the math, unbeatable light coming through, they're kind of just running onto the third dimension, screwing with people because they can't handle it. And so ET-101 says, you might as well just sit back and enjoy the circus that you watch as your physical reality appears to implode, in front of you. And basically, and don't get sidetracked into thinking that, you have some kind of disease or any of that. No. Don't get sidetracked into any thinking you have any problems at all. No, just sit back and watch the show. Pretty much is what the book says. So that's what I'm going to do. I wish I could get some of these interesting crafts on camera, because that would be cool. Because fezzes are cool. Once I made a TARDIS to get into, like astrally, but inside it was just a box. I was trying to make it like a cool spaceship inside. It was just a box, and it wasn't bigger on the inside either. And I was like, damn it. I mean, it still, like, quote, worked or whatever. I just thought, no, I wanted a freaking TARDIS. This was before I knew I was an Arcturian, too. I thought, I want a TARDIS in my living room when I get out of my body, and I want to walk into it, and I want it to be a spaceship. And I actually, I managed to finally roll out of my body after, what, like 2 hours or something, and walk through the door. And whenever you make a right angle, 90-degree turn, you can screw everything up that you see. Robert Bruce, the way he explains it, I like that because it makes a lot of sense. And so I make it turn. The entire house is rearranged, doors on the wrong side, and I thought, wait, well, excuse me, I sat here making my TARDIS. Where is it? And I just heard, just look in the place where exactly spatially where you think of it. No matter where the doors appear or anything, just spatially, where you would think of on what you'd call the floor, no matter where any of the furniture is or any of that. So I just looked at the place where I thought it was, and there was like, the door should have been there, and there was a wall in the picture, and it was all wrong. But right there's said police call box and everything, like a TARDIS. And I was like, okay. So instead of actually pushing a door or anything, I just, you just go through stuff. So I go inside, and I get inside, and I look down, it's just a box. And, no, I wanted to make it a cool spaceship, but I'd worked very hard thinking about the concept of just getting a police call box to be there. So I think that was good enough. And it was like my third try or something, really, or actually successfully doing it. Probably the third time. So I think that's pretty good. So maybe I'll do that, because that way I can still, like, quasi sleep, and if anything happens to my body, I get immediately jerked into it, or it's deliberately hard to pull me out of my body, for all of these reasons, which now I am so grateful for. It's not even funny. Speaking of somebody laughing on the video, that last video, this morning I wake up, and there was some video on my phone, when I realized, wait, I should make an announcement that I'm a queen now. I see there's a video on there, and it was at the middle of the night, and I did not actually press the play button because I instantly felt delete. Like, no, does not apply, delete. But I paid attention for a second, and it was my hand. So up there's a balcony over there. You see the white line? That's a ridge of a balcony. And my hand was over the balcony somehow, like that. And the picture was just sort of like this, but as if my hand was on the balcony. The white balcony edge, these edges you see there. And I just remember looking at it, hearing, well, wait, just look at it, then make sure to delete it. See if you recognize anything significant, and then delete it. So I looked at the picture, the first picture, which is my hand, I guess, right there on the balcony. But something just said, no, do not even look at it. Do not even look at it. It does not matter if somebody made you walk around in your sleep and do something with your phone. It does not matter. That's irrelevant. Who cares? You're in the now, right now. That was whenever, and this is right now. Right now. I mean, do you think you slept just fine? Yeah, I think I slept just fine. So you did. That's what happened, right? Yeah, that's what happened, and this was a total mystery, strange thing that's irrelevant, right? Yeah, it's totally irrelevant. Yeah. Okay, so we got that done. That was kind of like how it was told to me in this hard, fast Arcturian kind of way. Do not even press the play button. No, it's not even applicable. So maybe I know one thing that all the people are interested in. Just everybody is interested. Oh, hey, look at. I wonder if we're gonna see this. Or maybe switch do the smart thing and see if I can switch the camera around. No, that doesn't work. Darn it. There's like a big shooting thing up here. Check this out. And it's the triangle shape too. Yeah, there. See right there? You can't see it. Looks like an orb, but see, I can see it, and it's a triangle. And see, they don't fly that fast around here. That's why I can never get pictures of them, because like they literally zoom by so fast that you have to be on your camera to actually. You have to be like holding your camera right there, like ready for it to actually take a picture of it. And yeah, because of how pissed off people are gonna be when they figure out, oh, you mean you really were lying to us the whole time. I don't exactly blame the government for staging, the stuff about people, making videos of stuff, even though what's so funny is that I'm not being told get out your camera or anything stupid like that. I'm just attempting to take pictures of stuff and then getting yelled at for it. That was what I started getting yelled at for taking pictures of chemtrails. I come home, start taking pictures of geoengineering, of chemtrails, and write about freaking chemtrails, and people go berserk from just me talking about chemtrails. But then again, they could kind of see that I was activating more and more and more, and so they they are unsuccessful. So that's just how it is. And also one thing that I was told, one thing that the one guy said was that when I was kind of imprisoned, was that I had an ability to see the constellations under which people were born or something like that. It would be like they would have me drugged with Zyprexa at night, so that they would be doing something to my body. And I remember the first like 2 nights or something, it's so hard to do something like that to me astrally that I would be woken up like once an hour. So I would wake up, and they were talking in the morning about, oh, how that didn't work, and had to try and box me into a corner to force me to take some sort of medication so that they could attempt to do something to me. But apparently I would still fight back and not have any memory of it, because one morning the girl was saying, the girl who tried to hang herself was saying, I don't know, when she got to you, man, like she went nuts. And I'm thinking to myself, I feel fine. I guess apparently you're like raping me in my sleep or something. That's what you're trying to assert that you're doing. So apparently whatever. The only thing that can be done to you is scare you, because you're the creator. You're the one with the power. All the power that is outside of you, you actually create. So all of the darkness, the reason the light is so biased to win is because it's the original source, versus somebody using kind of half-arsed version of the real thing. So using, not using the true source, but using a reflected version of the real thing, so that you can get away with doing stuff that you cannot do in the presence of the real light source. There's that you cannot behave in certain ways. in the presence of that light source, you cannot feel in certain ways. Your feelings have to align in certain ways to be in the presence of that light source, or it's kind of like vampire style, where they say the vampire, quote, burns in the sun. It's like a feeling, I believe, like that to them, of some sort of shock or burn almost. Or I would notice that it would be like people complaining of electrical zapping type feeling, but I wouldn't appear to be actually doing anything to them that I could see physically, but they would appear somehow affected by whatever I was doing, and I would just say, look, I have to keep myself alive, that's it. And also, hey, look, kind of warn the entire complex. What with people having interesting heydays, I'm going to have to simply do my thing, and that will affect all of you that live here, because I am aware that it seems that all of you have gone the wrong direction. So, because all of you have gone the wrong direction, I must go the right direction, and that's an unstoppable time curve. I'm going to have to do things that I've noticed appear to harm the dark entities. And see, I don't want to harm them, but I don't have any other way to keep myself alive other than that. So it's a kind of thing where I'm sorry, but I have to do it. Like the red-tailed hawk kind of says to its prey, I'm sorry, but I have to eat, and my body is built to digest meat. That's how it, like, that's like what the bird practically told me. That's kind of how it thinks. So, word to the wise there, that's a message, hello. The red-tailed hawk doesn't exactly like the fact that it eats meat, it just knows that it has to, and it requires that to survive. So, hint in the right direction is getting to the idea that that meat is a survival requirement and not a super cool thing to consume. That it's a survival requirement for now. Like, get to that mindset, and then you can go up a little bit more, or change a little bit more along the spectrum, however you'd like to call it. You could call it a circle. Along the spectrum, you're going along the spectrum to the light side of the spectrum. That's push in the correct direction. So, from Arcturian philosophy, if I, and looks like there's another airplane. Wonder what are they doing at 4 in the morning? Like jets flying? They're not any type of commercial plane. And have strange shapes. What's up with that? And you saw how bright that one was? Like, that's not how, like, an airplane looks. So, whatever these are, we'll figure it out. So, I will go again tonight, and I'll see everyone in the morning. Blessings to you all.